There's
and
you.
That's us. Now do not disturb. And hello out there.
Waiting for the chat to start coming.
Yes. Hello. Hello.
There we go.
Hello.
Got people in here.
Right.
Starting recording on the Zoom H4, and we will be pausing for
Room tone.
20 seconds. Yep.
Yep. All right, guys, welcome to the 25th RCR podcast. It's a milestone, I suppose.
Yep.
I'm Nick.
I'm Brian.
And welcome to the show. A lot to talk about. It's going to be a bit of a shorter show today because Brian's getting prepared for RCR Austin this weekend, or should I have not?
4 hours.
Oh, all right.
4 hours. Well, I got to stay at the hotel because it's a wild drive to Philly Airport, but I'll be in Austin hopefully by noon tomorrow, Austin, Texas. There will not be an RCR meet. I'll just be working primarily at Harris Hill Raceway. It'll be my first time on a racetrack. I have no idea what I'm doing.
But next week's video will definitely be come out. It's completely shot, edited, posted, scheduled to go up on Monday. And yeah, so good times.
If the Misfits were a car, what car would they be? Clearly a hearse. I mean, they'd be the guy who drives the hearses daily, and that's his thing.
Yeah.
That's the beginning and end of hearse guy's personality.
Yeah. Mm.
He's 51 years old.
So you're getting over like a thing,
Yeah.
aren't you? I mean, it's got a nice hot cup of boilo.
Yep.
And
I'm drinking Pennsylvania moonshine right now at 1:50 in the afternoon, and this is not going to be my last cup.
But it's good for the Constitution.
Yeah.
in a very 18th century kind of way.
No, dude, you get this stuff hot, you breathe it in, it'll clear your nose up.
Yeah.
Now, because that's what it's. Well, my family makes it with Four Queens whiskey. The true Boilo recipe is made with Everclear, like 190.
Oh.
But like not a lot of it. What's medicinal about it is that a pound of honey goes into the recipe.
That is a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, cinnamon, a lot of spices. So, and then you serve it hot, you breathe it in. It's pretty good. But yeah, I went camping by myself last Wednesday, and me being all gung-ho about doing the Appalachian Trail maybe in 2020. Okay, time to go and have my first outing in the woods alone. So I hike 9 miles on the Appalachian Trail, and I stay at Eagle's Nest Shelter. And for car people, I don't know how many hikers there are. These subcultures don't cross. But I get to the shelter. Now, an Appalachian Trail shelter resembles a large bus stop, only made out of logs. Some are nicer than others. Some are more than one floor. They have like a loft that you can go sleep up above.
Kind of like that little shed that you found at the auto show last year, the New York Auto Show, where there was this little cabin that you could hitch to the back of a thing, and then you found out
a tiny house.
Yeah, the tiny house. Yeah,
not that nice, but much larger.
Yeah,
like the shelter would be about the size of this living room, and they're very quaint and picturesque. There's some have doors, most don't. But they are there in case there's really bad weather that your tent's not going to hold up. You can sleep in a bus station, get in your sleeping bag, and you'll be dry. Yeah. Which is what I eventually did, because my tent is a Walmart tent, and what I didn't know is that it's a $40 Walmart tent that I've had forever.
Yeah,
we're going to go camping. Like every time I went camping, it's really just going to a bush party where you're just drinking in the woods.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have a tent, but it's a beautiful summer night. All you need it for is keep the bugs away.
Yeah.
That'll keep you warm.
And you're sleeping in the tent overnight, and then you're driving back.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
And you're not far from the parking lot anyway. You're not even a mile.
Yeah.
You're not 9 miles from the parking lot. Is Mr. Regular officially a hat guy? Mr. Regular is officially losing your hair guy, so the hat kind of stays on.
I've always been the hat guy of us too. My hair is thinning, but it's always been thinning, which I used to blame on the hat, and then Brian explained like, no, that's not really a thing.
No.
But whatever, getting thin.
Regular cars, turn up the volume on both of us.
Both of us or just one?
Both of us or just me?
Rhythm
I'm potted down a little bit less than Nick, so I'll pop myself up a little bit. Let me know if my voice is a little bit louder. For those of you listening just on iTunes, you're not going to hear this because we engineer the sound and put a compressor on it afterwards.
Yeah, so that's the incentive to go check it out on iTunes or Shout Engine or Stitcher or Google Play or any of those other outlets or Podcast Addict. But yeah, so you went camping, stayed in this little enclosure.
Yeah. Yep. It has 3 walls and one wall's open. Because I stayed in that because I'm sleeping in my tent and it starts raining at night and the rain starts coming down the side of the tent, and because it's a cheap Walmart tent and not engineered, the water then as it rolls down the tent then rolls underneath the tent.
Ooh.
Even though you have a floor in the tent, it's now wet underneath, and tents are permeable. It's the side of my sleeping bag's getting wet. I tried to go to sleep at like 9 p.m. and woke up at midnight shivering and wet. So I thought, okay, I'm kind of warm here, or I could make a run for the shelter. And I make a run for the shelter. And then I was drier, but then colder, because now what the shelter wasn't blocking the shelter didn't block the wind because one side is opened. And I also was using my new sleeping bag incorrectly, which I have in a bag, which we can do a show and tell for the viewers.
Yeah.
So I watched a bunch of YouTube's videos about what are the good sleeping bags. Because I got a Walmart sleeping bag that was $12. This is I'm going to stay at Tim Strickler's house. I want my own blanket.
Yeah.
For $12, I can have a sleeping bag that's good for. It's a warm weather bag, so it's good to about 50 degrees.
Yeah.
So I need something that's good for like 30 degrees, but also really light. So he says you need a tent with a rain fly that goes. Brian Arca something in the chat says you need a tent with a rain fly that goes all the way around the ground. You can find expensive tents cheap on Craigslist. Didn't think of that.
That's a good idea.
The real expensive tents and the really good ones I saw are Z-Packs, or they're like a $300 tent. And it's like Porsches or race cars. The lighter they are, the more expensive they are.
Yeah.
And all of the long distance hikers most of them prefer tents that use your trekking poles as tent stakes. You already have trekking poles and they're adjustable.
Yeah.
Those become your tent stakes, so you're not carrying as much weight as you don't have to carry, the better.
Yeah.
And anyway, and then you have to make the tent out of super light materials. Yeah. The same deal with the sleeping bag I bought, which is called an Enlightened Equipment Renovation. I got it. It's in the cabinet right here behind Nick.
I don't know. You probably got to do the whole modern retail thing of going to Cabela's, finding the most expensive and awesome tent that you can find, and then leaving Cabela's and going online and trying to find if you could find it cheap somewhere.
Cabela's has shit. Cabela's
Bass Pro? Or are they same? Yeah, same.
They sell glamping stuff.
Oh,
glamour camping.
Yeah.
The big Yeti tents, the big family stuff. The store you want is called REI. We don't have the nearest.
We don't have. I know the product, or not the product, but like the brand.
There's one in Westchester, and that's the nearest one. So, anyway, this is an Enlightened Equipment, and they say you have to store it in a special bag. You can't store it in a compression sack. But I also put dryer sheets in here because the washing This is great for audio, isn't it? You can hear the sound of a sleeping bag rustling around. Actually, this works pretty well. I didn't wash it because it has down in it. And you have to hand wash it. And people in the Appalachian Trail Reddit page said washing these things is a 5-hour affair. Because you have to gently do everything. Because feel it, it's so delicate.
Oh,
and it's quite soft.
and
actually,
nice.
Oh, the dryer sheets work.
Yeah.
So hear that, Appalachian through hikers? Get some dryer sheets and put it in your sleeping bag. And now
I feel like the Snuggles bear like just falling back into a cloud of pillows.
Yeah. The thing is, it's really a blanket with these clips on it. And the idea is this sleeping bag it spares the bottom of the sleeping bag.
Yeah.
So you clip this to your sleeping pad that you have with you, and that becomes the bottom of it. So now you've saved another couple ounces. But I didn't know that. I thought it was just a blanket, and I was using it wrong.
Yeah. And it's a good thing that you put the dryer sheets in there in the sense that I imagine it holds smell, and that after a couple nights you're just going to be stewing in a broth of your own putrescence.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's the way it kind of is. And yeah, we talk about the AT because it's kind of this fascinating bucket list thing. Like, not for me, although like our bucket lists are kind of similar in that we want to do similar things, but yours takes longer. Like, I want to go on Survivor and you want to hike the Appalachian Trail. Survivor, you're gone like 40 days tops. AT, like if you
40
really
days. I'm going to be gone 6 months.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Of like
Survivor is 40 days.
Yeah, Survivor is like 40 days. 39 days and then like the extra day to come back. But then like if you're doing the AT and really doing it and not just sectioning it, you're not like you don't have sponsors out the ass like that one Meltzer guy who, did it in 40 days because
that guy
stops all along the way of like, hey, we're waiting here with your hydration and new fresh equipment.
Yeah, he ran the whole AT, did 40 days.
He tore that ass up.
Yeah. Hello from Canada.
Hello,
Canada. From Hugo Requi. Anyway, so I huddle myself in the shelter. I get about another 2 hours of sleep. And I woke up and I actually had a little bit of night terrors because I'm in a strange place. My first thought was, oh no, bears, oh no. But people said, I talked to other hikers and they said, bears in this part of PA are afraid of you. So don't worry about it.
It's not like AJ Soprano just freaking out about it. Oh, mommy, it's a bear. And
I didn't watch The Sopranos. What was the context?
I'm rewatching The Sopranos and they... there's a bear that gets into their backyard and Tony Soprano's son, who is literally the worst character in the history of television, just completely freaks out and calls for his mom, which, I mean, I guess in the show he's like 16 at the time or whatever, but AJ is literally the worst. And I would love to hear an argument from someone who could argue otherwise that AJ Soprano is not the worst character on that show. He's insufferable. But anyway, yeah.
Guy in the channel says AJ was a punk.
He was a punk. He's the worst. And I hope that, like, I wasn't a great teenager, but I would hope that if I were, if you meet St. Peter at the pearly gates and he gives you a little, SD card filled with your worst moments as a teenager, that I wouldn't be approaching that level of like punkdom. But yeah.
Not today, buddy. Says, hey, regular cars, can you come to Australia and do a review or two with Mighty Car Mods? I've talked about this before. I have a number of emails between myself and Moog about the idea of us doing a crossover episode. It's just a matter of scheduling and that they're on the other side of the planet.
Yes.
So, and our free time... I don't know. I'd love to. I don't know how you make that happen apart from us going to Australia.
Or if for whatever reason they find themselves like
in the eastern side of the United States.
I mean, I don't know what reason they could possibly have to travel over here, but I imagine they would have plenty of reasons because they're an international brand. A brand.
Oh no, my brand. So I'm shivering in this. I wake up at sometime around 8 in the morning and eat cold Pop-Tarts and eat a bag of tuna. You know how you can get tuna in a can or you can get tuna in those pouches?
Oh, the pouch. Yeah.
I eat that and then walk 9 miles back to Port Clinton, get in my car and go home. And next day I catch a chill at home and have a really bad cold. And I've had that since then. So my first night out in the woods kicked my ass, and here I am. And all I really thought about when I was on the woods was, this time next week, you're going to be in Austin, Texas, and it's going to be really, really warm.
Yep. Warm and surrounded by really nice stuff, hopefully.
Yeah. Going to be driving a Porsche GT3 RS Sharkworks conversion. So good car for my first track experience. Steph Schrader will hopefully be there as well. I will drive her daily Lancer on a track, and we also got a guy with a BMW 3 Series version that we a 320, because the other BMW did was a 330 Ci from that period.
You got to get in a picture with one of her like puffalumps or whatever they are.
I think that will be difficult not to do.
Yeah,
they're everywhere.
Nick, have you lost weight, and how's Red Betty doing? I've lost 7 pounds so far. I did have a minor cheat on our shoot on Sunday where I had a burger, and there were the burger in and of itself isn't bad, but it comes with those like French onions or whatever it is on it. But I got a side of Brussels sprouts. But I don't understand why people don't like Brussels sprouts. They're fantastic. Amazing. They're like crunchy and good. And I guess it's all in the preparation. But yeah,
totally.
I have an appointment with a nutritionist in like 2 weeks. And that's mostly about, other health related things. But nothing concerning. But yeah, still go to the gym. I'm going to the gym after this. So, it is what it is. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Even though, it's mostly to just sort of release the endorphins and get me in a good mood, because I'm always in a good mood when I come out of the gym.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to go like do and write a thing. And I kind of have a kind of sort of date tonight.
Hey.
Kind of with an old friend person. She's fantastic. And reconnected, and so yeah, that's rock and roll.
Yeah, one guy says the last time I had Brussels sprouts, it was an oily, mushy mess. Yeah, Brussels sprouts aren't supposed to taste that bad.
No, they're supposed to be
crisp.
Yeah, just I actually had to take a fork and knife to the last one that was on the plate. I was just, but yeah.
Josh Gorey says, are you coming back to Chicago anytime soon? You talked about it last year, but it looks like it didn't work out. Well, we never made plans to do it. I always talk about Chicago, and then I got into hiking, and then that got pushed back.
Yeah, because when we went to Chicago, we were on the, like the edges of the bowl of soup that it's too hot to eat, and so you don't go all in, you just get at the edges.
Yeah.
So we were in Chicago, but we weren't in Chicago.
Yeah.
That was when we did the Conquest, yeah.
And also JK.
Yeah. And so had some really nice food from really nice restaurants and saw some nice places and got some scenic views of the skyline, and also I had a panic attack in the car because my bladder was bursting and we couldn't get it. And you were like explaining this of just like, dude, it's fine. It's going to be great. And we finally pulled over and found this restaurant and everything. But we always said if we were going to go back.
Pee in a cup. I'm not going to look at your dick.
Yeah. And then, and then there was a kid in another car who was like peering over. It's like, I got stage fright. I'm like, this kid is looking at me.
Nothing's coming out. Well, I guess you don't have to pee then.
like this the whole time. Yeah. But you said like next time we would fly in and then maybe, you know, rent one of those like bicycles or whatever it is that they're in the city bicycle thing.
Yeah, we got Mike Steinberg who lives in Schaumburg, Illinois, north of the city. So it's not like we'd be without transportation if we go there.
Yeah.
He drives, I think, the Jetta Sportback wagon. So we'd have a car we could film with. And, ooh.
So yeah, just
what do I think about the new Supra that no one has yet? The new Supra with a BMW engine? I'm sure it'll be fine.
Like I can't
That's
imagine
the beginning and end of it, right? I mean, Toyota. Be odd, Toyota collaborating with BMW. That's everything's a crossover episode now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Will there be a Celica GT4 review, as in the intro? Of course.
Yeah.
I just did the audio. Excuse me. I just did the audio for that, and when I get back from Austin, I will start reviewing that. That was my favorite car.
Did you fall into the trap of calling it the Celica?
Yeah,
I think
one or two. Yeah, because that's
how they say it.
That's how they say it down there, and when in Rome, and it also makes it easier.
But yeah,
you should definitely come to Central Europe. The place is full of, I don't know, maybe someday.
Wait, you said the Celica was your favorite car out there. I thought it was a Century.
I know, I'm coming around.
Oh, it's kind of like my reaction to Lady Bird, where it's like you like it, and then the more you think about it, you're like, that movie was kind of ridiculous. But I don't know. Well, I mean, that's the thing of RCR New Zealand is the longest travel related season that we've ever had.
Yeah.
It's been going on since late February, and now we're about to, and it will terminate in May.
Yeah.
And before we're back in the US proper. So, you know, we're going to have to film more stuff here so that we have our return season all lined up and everything. But
pertinent question in the chat. Fruit by the foot or fruit roll-ups? Okay. Fruit by the foot understands that you're a glutton.
Yeah.
They're going to dish out this in a thin strip. Fruit roll-ups throws caution to the wind. I've tried to ball that motherfucker up and eat the whole goddamn thing. Because you're a kid and you don't know how to delay your own gratification. The peeling off of that wax paper back off of the fruit roll up, that and you realize you have this flesh thing, and maybe it speaks to the reptilian brain of, you know, eating skin off of a freshly killed creature. Of course, fruit by the foot is red.
Yeah.
It's red. You remember blue, you remember yellow, but it's red.
It's red. Yeah.
Sometimes it has the pieces of real fruit in it. Get real. That's just like glucose or something in my balls of like gum, like dextrose gum or whatever that is. So you think with the fruit roll up that you're going to be mature about this and you're going to I'm going to savor this. And pretty soon, you're just taking the whole sheet of paper and just into it. And then you take that big bite of the fruit roll-up, and it welds your mouth shut. It seals your teeth, and you get again. Whereas fruit by the foot, you can be that guy who just sticks the thing in his mouth, and, you know, you pull the paper down on the bottom and just feed more in. That just reminds me of Coneheads when they're just eating their dinner out of straws.
Never actually saw that movie.
You're not missing much.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole Lorne Michaels video of movies of all the SNL skits.
Yeah.
Well, it goes. Yeah, the only good one for me was Wayne's World.
I feel like there's an answer to what's the best SNL movie, and I don't know what that is because I've seen Night at the Roxbury back when I was a kid, which was not good. Mm-hmm. I saw Superstar, which was not good. Mm-hmm. It's got to be Wayne's World. It's not close.
But I don't go back. Oh yeah, that's right, Blues Brothers. People are saying Blues Brothers. I forgot that thing.
There we go. This is why we have a chat.
Okay, Blues. Which is the better SNL movie? Blues Brothers or Wayne's World?
I gotta go Wayne's World. I have to.
Because the best, it's closer to our childhood.
Yeah.
Blues Brothers, to me, was always this movie that was on Sunday at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand what's going on, and there's this car in it.
Yeah, it does have an iconic car, but it's just,
Yeah, people in the chat are going, Blues Brothers was an SNL movie? Yeah, I just remember that was a sketch.
Yeah, it was a sketch that started out. Yeah. On the fruit by the foot argument, I was a Gushers man because fruit by the foot was too much candy for me. And Gushers was just right. You bite into it and it's like this explosion of fruit
additional
juice.
Sugar.
Yeah, additional sugar. And then the pouches were way too they were just very few in them, so that you had to get more. And it was the same thing with Dunkaroos. Dunkaroos, that whole Dunkaroos racket, that's how they get you. Especially, and then they want you to get the different kinds of frosting. Like, I'm trying to find the chocolate frosting. I can only find the rainbow sprinkle frosting. I'm like, what is this hot mess? Yes. I felt like Joey Diaz when someone brings up the blue cheese or ranch. It's like, blue cheese, a fucking mother. That's going on a thing. But, yeah. Let's see.
No one like MacGruber.
I never saw MacGruber.
MacGruber was a one-trick pony of a sketch. Hey, he thinks it's gonna break, and then it does.
Yeah. And then everyone dies at the end because everything explodes.
How many times can you reheat that sandwich?
Speaking of which, that Derek Thompson asks, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh, fuck you.
I mean, it does satisfy the thing between two pieces of bread. This is the thing of it's the ultimate argument.
Is a taco a sandwich? Is a burrito a sandwich?
Is a wrap a sandwich? I mean, it's just a different delivery mechanism.
Is a panini a sandwich?
Speaking of debates that can't be solved, in the newspaper the other day, they mentioned that a documentarian is filming a documentary for release later this year on the heated rivalry between Sheetz and Wawa.
Nice.
That it's why can't people, are you a Sheetz man? I'll go into the ground, a Sheetz man.
I mean, he is gonna have to clickbait upsell that whole thing because it's just a friendly rivalry. There is no people getting into fistfights over which gas station food they
or who has the better
it shows you how little's going on in central Pennsylvania that we need to have arguments about our gas station food.
I mean, I'm sure they'll find like the one guy who his basement is filled with, like back in the 90s when you always had that one neighbor whose basement was filled with Hess trucks. Like the toy Hess trucks.
Yes. No one gives a shit about Hess trucks here.
Yeah.
I remember getting a Hess truck for Christmas. Like, it must have been the late 80s. The fucking lights turned on. The lights turn on.
Like, I've never seen something so beautiful in my life. It's amazing. And, I mean, but even as going into adulthood, people still, they connect to the idea of Hess trucks, even though I don't know that there's a Hess anywhere in the Tri-County area.
Looking back, that company, a fuel company, was able to get little kids excited about commercial vehicles.
What movie most accurately depicts Central PA? The question asks.
It's a video game. It's called Night in the Woods.
Yeah, there you go. And it's pretty short too.
Yeah.
And inexpensive to buy on Steam.
Yeah.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Steam. Just
there's Witness with
Harrison Ford and
that's it's an Amish.
That's like a Lancaster thing. Lancaster. There was they made a movie shot in Reading of Run Rabbit Run or Rabbit Run, the John Updike story that was like set in and around like this area.
Okay.
And basically, he comes up with different names for everything, like Shillington is something else, Reading is something else, Hamburg is something else. But they actually did film it and had James Caan around, and there's no existing copy of this movie anymore. I think there's like one copy with the Reading Historical Society, and that's it. But for whatever reason, our movies are all M. Night Shyamalan movies for whatever reason, because he films around here, you know. But none of his movies accurately depict the culture of Central or Southeastern or whatever Pennsylvania. Although that Paterno movie on HBO, I guess, is kind of like it built up what the cult of Joe Paterno was really like. And I was there in the midst of it. Not of like the scandal, but of people sort of worshiping the guy and people bringing their parents just to pose in front of the giant bronze statue of him. And that was like a big thing that you would do on graduation day. And even I thought that was kind of weird. Like, I get it that he's, you know, the coach and he's older than God knows what, but it's always when you deify one man to that degree, right? I always feel like there's got to be a catch, you know. It's weird, and not saying that like I predicted anything. It's just that when never meet your heroes, you know, it's just scary stuff.
They're falling in love. I forget what movie this is from, or if it's a general thing, but they don't love Joe Paterno. They love the idea of Joe Paterno.
Yeah. The all father, the guy who is kind of like how we see Tom Hanks as Americans, right? Just he's always been here. You know, his movies, even at their worst, are eminently watchable.
Splash,
Splash. The Terminal isn't a great movie, but like, you know, if it's on in the afternoon, it's like you could do worse. You know, it's Tom Hanks. You can't really go wrong with him.
Question for you.
Oh, what are my thoughts on the future of The Walking Dead? I think they really screwed the pooch by killing off the person that they did. What's funny is I haven't watched The Walking Dead in 2 seasons, 2.5 actually, ever since I left my entertainment reporter job. And so like I got that byline, that quote on the back of The Walking Dead season 5 DVD, which was really cool, but funny because it was couched in the terms of like a negative review. And so, but they picked out the one line from my review that it's as emotionally savage as ever and slapped that on the back of the DVD box, which was cool, I guess. But no, it was cool, but you don't get paid for it, so whatever. But I just didn't like, the show is the most repetitive show on television, and I don't have time for that. Like, I barely have time for, you know, modern TV as it is. Hence why I was rewatching Boardwalk Empire and rewatching The Sopranos. It's because, you know, if I'm going to have things on in the background while I'm working, I want it to be stuff that's well written, well shot, well edited, well acted. I don't want to be watching, you know, Negan doing his friggin' lean and everything, which reminds me, I went to see Rampage over the weekend with my nephew, which that movie, you know, based on the video game with the monsters and everything, and it had The Rock as a primatologist, but also ex-military, and he used to hunt poachers, and he has this badass line in it of like, well, because obviously like The Rock doesn't like people in the movie. He has this thing where he only likes to hang out with animals. Like, this hot girl wants to go on a date with him, and he turns her down because he'd rather go home and hang out with his dogs. And it's like, you know, people, you know where you stand with animals, because if they like you, they lick you. If they don't, they eat you. And
that was his line.
Yeah, but it wasn't the badass line. The badass line was that so what happened with the poachers? They shot at me. They missed. I shot back. I didn't. And it's just, and he walks along and he's doing that whole, I'm The Rock and I'm very charismatic, but also my character requires me to be stoic. So, you know, because it's the whole thing of, why don't you like people? And so, I don't know. It was a fun movie, but in a dumb fun kind of way. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in it, the guy who plays Negan on The Walking Dead, and he's literally playing Negan the entire time with the same accent, the same lean, the same, you know, it was just a very weird thing. But If you want to go and turn your brain off for an hour and like 42 minutes, like you can do worse. I mean, it's The Rock. It's hard to go wrong with and that's the thing of like we have a dearth of action stars that you can just go, but because back in the day you could go Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Willis, Jackie Chan, but you know, now it's kind of like, yeah, you have your Jason Stathams of the world, but it's not to the same level of cultural like zeitgeist that it used to be.
Megastar thing.
Except for The Rock. It's that, you know, when there's an action movie coming out and it has The Rock in it, it becomes this event.
What I'm getting.
I know what I'm getting. He's gonna punch something, or he's gonna have guns. He's probably gonna get shot, but it's gonna miss all his vital organs.
Yeah, he's gonna get shot. It's gonna be in the shoulder. And it's going to have that, I'll be all right, you know.
Yeah, he's just toughing it out, like gritting his teeth, you know. But yeah, and maybe he'll get a girl in it. Maybe he won't because, you know, it doesn't really matter to The Rock whether he gets the girl in the end or not. Like, he's not that type of action star. But,
what was that movie he did with Johnny Knoxville? It was a remake of
Walk Tall.
Yeah,
or Walking Tall.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
It was at the height of Knoxville and the height of Jackass.
Yeah. They
did this movie. Okay, now it's The Rock. He's going to beat people up in a sawmill. All right, you know.
Yeah, like the bad guy, he pulls him over because he's like the sheriff in the town and he doesn't have anything to hold the bad guy with. Yeah. And so he's like, your taillight's busted. It's like, oh, my taillights look fine. And The Rock just takes his 2x4 and smashes them. It's like, now they're not. And it's just, you know, that type of thing. I don't know. The Rock he's up there with Tom Hanks in that, you know, dependably entertaining.
That's a good line.
Yeah.
Dependably entertaining.
Like, you know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah.
And until The Mummy, I felt the same way about Tom Cruise, honestly. Like, yeah, you can say whatever you want about him being crazy, but that man knows how to pick a script. And he does his own stunts, and they're crazy stunts that no sane person should ever do.
Yeah.
You know, like, let's strap me to the side of this airplane so we can get this shot. And then they give it away in the trailer anyway, which was stupid. But I don't know. People are, you know, whatever.
Now we got Tom Hardy doing Venom.
Yeah, which is a weird pick. I did not think that movie would get made. And I got Avengers Infinity War on Thursday with my nephew, who's like losing his mind over this. And because it's everyone in the thing.
Yeah.
It would be like if, you know, we got...
And there's not going to be enough Chris Pratt.
Yeah, it would be like if we did like the Avengers of auto reviewers of just like us and Marty and Moog and Doug DeMuro
and Matt Farah and David Patterson
and the Grand
maybe
Tour
Street
guys.
Speed 717, who is around in Pennsylvania, and I think that's his area code. It's a 717 number, so that puts him somewhere. I guess if you're out there, yeah, we'll figure something out. His car channels is more like Lamborghini. It's all high-end supercar stuff, which you put us in front of a supercar, like pretty much what we had yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. We won't give it away, but many people have. This is like the official car of reaction videos.
That's a line.
That's a line.
That is a line.
That's a line. In the kitchen is my preliminary notes. Like, blah, blah, the official car of reaction videos. Yeah. Street Speed 717 is out of Harrisburg. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's right. Because I was talking to David, who...
Dude in blue?
I don't want to say his last name because he's an LEO.
All right.
But he has buddies who... worked in Lois Pass and fellow officers who just said gave Street Speed 717 the blues.
Oh, the blues?
Well, fellow traffic officers.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
like, now it's one thing. It's like, look, all right, you're in a supercar and you're known for going fast. The police are gonna pop you. It's just the price of doing business, which we've never had any problems. No. Now, of course, you watch our videos, we're not driving fast.
Yeah.
And when we are doing stuff, it's in a controlled environment.
Controlled environment and only for X amount of seconds at a time.
Yeah.
You know, to the point where...
We're not doing highway pulls. As fun as they are, which that's going to be solved tomorrow in Austin when we're on a track where you're supposed to do this stuff.
Yeah.
I really wanted for RCR Austin to find some piece of 1970s General Motors malaise. A freaking Impala, like not even a good Impala, like an Impala from 1976.
Not even the one that like Skilo rapped about in I Wish, you know, in a 6'4" Impala.
Yeah,
which
they're
like
sexy as shit. Like,
no, I believe it.
They talk about like 1960, like if there's a fulcrum for automotive car design, it's 1963. Because 63 had the Falcon Sprint. It's not the square body yet. Although people will say 1964 because that's Mustang, you're wearing a Ford shirt. And, and also 1963 is a split window Stingray Corvette. And what else was in 63? I think even Packard was doing well then.
Wasn't the Banshee like 63 around there? The Banshee? Pontiac
Banshee, maybe.
Maybe.
Pontiac people are weird. They consider themselves different from the rest of General Motors. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean,
Anyway, net pre-downsized B-body on a frickin' track. It's Harris Hill Raceway. God damn it, man. Yeah, I'm filming 3 cars in one day. 3 is the limit.
Ugh.
But we have a controlled environment. I figure myself I'm going to be there for 6 hours. But I looked around in Austin, and everybody in Austin has nice cars. I mean, there's got to be someone around with something that's a piece of dog shit.
I mean, you can go in the email and just be...
I can look. I mean, maybe you have 4 cars in... No.
Yeah, like after 3... Well, I mean... on Sunday too, that was nice. It was perfect. They were very nice, like Reese and Vincent. And
I think we should do Sundays more at that venue because not a lot of people
nobody's there.
Yeah.
And then run into nice people like Benny, who hands you roasted cauliflower.
Benny, the janitor at the gym. You know, for people who showed up to the RCR car meet, that's where we film a lot, and I mentioned to Benny that our local farmers market does deep fried cauliflower, and it's the only vegetable that becomes a meat because it's deep fried in lard.
Yeah.
Oh, that stuff is divine.
It really is.
Talk about a cheat day.
Yeah.
So we've been going about this for almost 45 minutes. You can go to the Reddit page and see if you can find something. I'll talk to the chat.
Right. Yeah. I'll
join the Facebook group Malaise Motors. You'll find something. M2T says, ever considered doing something reviews in South American countries? Sorry, I have not yet. A highlighted comment says, review an E350 Avalon. Yeah, Toyota Avalon. The hits are coming fast now. Hey, Mr. Regular, are there any really popular books? Blah, blah, blah. For your age group that you hated? Yeah, Catcher in the Rye we talked about last time.
Yeah, Catcher in the Rye can go enjoy a dick somewhere.
Yeah, Of Human Bondage by Somerset Maugham. That's terrible. And it's long and it keeps the class. See, the reason they assign Of Human Bondage by Somerset Maugham is because it takes up a goddamn month. Maybe a month and a half if you stretch it. So the teacher doesn't have to make lesson plans for a month and a half.
All right, so here's a question from the subreddit. Oh, UPS is here. Oh. All right, well, I'll take care of this one for now. It is, you go to the RCR subreddit, which is r/regular car reviews. There's a thread there for Ask RCR. You post your question there. We'll answer it on the podcast, hopefully. This question, it's for both of us, but like I can answer it. It's have either of you ever written fictional works? Follow-up question, if you have, what kind of research or preparation do you usually put into writing fiction? I got published in this this very small journal with a fictional story about a guy who finds out that his best friend from high school died by reading it on a I call it like a ghetto tombstone, or that, you know, you walk by and on the back of the car it's like R.I.P. Little Mook or R.I.P. Johnny X. Well, actually, I called it a Puerto Rican tombstone because a lot of like my family would do that. But
I'm sorry for smiling, but it's so cute.
Yeah.
That's bad.
But no, it's like and it's basically like him coming to terms with like finding out that this person passed and nobody told him. And I didn't really do any research into it. It's also another one which was like my weird take on The Stranger that I did for a post-grad class.
The move where you sit on your hand and then jerk off?
No. The Camus, Albert Camus. And it's that this guy gets sort of accused of something that, except in this one, like he didn't do it, but in The Stranger he did. So I don't know. But like I didn't really do research into it because I only write about stuff I already know about. And so, you know, even if I'm writing something that's like, you know, stuff with people who have powers, which I don't think I've done, but I imagine I would have at some point. It's just, you know, how much research is there to do? But then maybe that's why I'm not like a fiction writer. So, yeah.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Amazon. Probably hiking stuff. I open the box. Oh. It's a shirt.
Nice.
Right. I ordered a shirt that would be good for hiking. I've never owned a merino wool anything. I thought this one would have taken a lot longer. The brand is called Young Horse, not Young Horse. Young Horse. I don't know. It was on Amazon. I typed in merino wool long sleeve shirt for like night or on cool days because supposedly merino wool doesn't smell. Guess what I'm wearing? Should I wear this on the flight? I don't know. I take off, turn it into a Ric Flair outburst video.
Well, it's not Ric Flair until you elbow drop the shirt, but give it time. If you have enough glasses of Boilo, you'll be elbow dropping inanimate objects in no time.
This feels nice. Why? Because it's clean.
Looks nice too. It's very nice.
I can hike with this. I'll smell like shit, but I'll look all right.
No, you can go on dates in that. That's a nice ass shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah. But let's see.
No, I'm saving. I don't want to stink it up. I'm not gonna save. I'm gonna save it for Austin. This is gonna go in my suitcase, which I will immediately start packing after this.
Here's a question that I'm actually kind of interested in knowing the answer to. Just because it sort of predates me like having the confidence to do any kind of music thing whatsoever. But in the early RCR reviews, how did you pick the intro songs? Did they relate to the cars, or did you just pick the songs because you liked them?
I picked the songs because I liked them.
Yeah.
All right. We've been going for 45 minutes. I have to back for RCR Austin and get ready to leave for Philly in 3 hours.
And I gotta go to the gym.
All right. So that is going to be it for this shorter episode of RCR Podcast. Thank you to everybody who watches the videos. Thank you to everybody who donates to Patreon that allows us to operate at as a larger channel than we really are, and is allowing us to finally get me on a racetrack so I can learn some skills in 2 days. So without you donating to Patreon, you wonderful people, I am going to become a better automotive journalist because of you.
Yes. And we're all going to become better at what we do, presumably, because of all of you. Yeah. So thank you so much for listening and joining us for our 25th podcast milestone. Don't forget to download it on iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, Google Play, like all those places, or subscribe to them, whatever. But I don't want to turn into Johnny, mash that like button social media guy. But either way, thank you for joining us. I'm Nick.
I'm Brian.
And have a great week.
You too. Bye-bye.